So here's the framework of things. You have several options and you have a little bit of time, okay? All right. You absolutely, the first thing is that you can't appeal this decision. You have the right to appeal. You get at least 5 days to appeal and you start counting days tomorrow. So today does not include. Tomorrow is day 1, okay? If the 5th day is a weekend or a day we close early, and we close early every day at 4 o'clock, you get an additional day. So you probably have 6 days to appeal. If you don't do anything in the next 6 days, if you don't appeal and you don't move out, the landlord, the following day, say day 7, that's when the landlord can seek from the court what's called the writ of possession. And that's an order by the court that the constable be there to make sure the landlord peaceably removes you from the property. And they come and they give you notice of that. So you're not like you, by law, they cannot make you move out for at least 5, probably 6 days. So you have at least that long to either move yourself, try to work out something with the landlord, or appeal the decision. Okay? We want to send you an informational packet. We want to send you a copy of this order. We're going to send the same order to Mr. Lee, and we want to give you information so that you can look up if you want to appeal, how to appeal, what are your rights, what are your options, all of those things. Now, we have an address for you that's probably the address where you're living, but if we mail it, it's going to take a little longer. If we get an email address from you, we can have it to you by end of today, first thing tomorrow, and that way you have that information that much faster. Do you have an email address that you want to give us?
Yes.
Okay, now, real quick, we're live and on YouTube, so I really would, I don't want you to send out your email address. And so are you able to use the chat box in Zoom?
Yes, ma'am.
If you'll type it in the chat box, we'll see that, and then my clerk can add that to it. And so why don't you do that? Why don't you type that in and make sure we receive it, and we'll confirm it in a more private way. Okay? So let's get your email address and we'll send you that. But again, you have at least 5 days, quite probably 6, before anyone can make you move. So if you have some time, you can reach out to the landlord, you can appeal, you can move, you can look for other housing. You have all of your options are available to you in that time period. Okay?
I went ahead and sent the email.
Okay.
I did get your email address and I've updated you here.
All right. Okay. All right. And then, Ms. Boyd, if for any reason you don't receive the email from us, call our court and make sure, and we will send it again immediately. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
And then just real quick, one last thing, because you arrived a bit late, I'm going to re-highlight. Oh, I don't think I can. JC, will you post in the legal aid services again in the chat box? Zoom won't let me copy and paste out of the chat box. It's a funky, I mean, that's probably a good safety feature, but Ms. Voigt, these are not all of them. These are just a few examples of free resources that you could contact today, tomorrow, anytime. I'd say sooner than later, to help you kind of get, understand what you can do, what some options are for you. And then I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to show you a few things. This is the law library website. This is here in Travis County. This is a free service. And so you can contact them here. They have all their contact information. But if you come to the website, there is a section on evictions, including an appeal packet for a tenant. And that's what you are. How would you appeal if you're an occupant of the property? Another one is volunteer legal services. This is a group that actually does provide you with a free lawyer. You can call them and you can say, I need help. Today I was evicted by the court. I want to appeal. I need questions. How do I find new housing? What do I do? The Austin Tenants Council, they assist tenants and occupants like yourself, and they offer telephonic counseling. So today from 1 to 5, you could contact them. And then you can also schedule an appointment. No, today's Friday, right? No, today's Thursday.
Thursday.
I know what day of the week it is. Oh, too busy. So they are available today from 1 to 5, and then tomorrow they're available in the morning. And you can also schedule an in-person appointment if you call during those same hours. This is a group called BOSTA. It's here in Austin. They help tenants and occupants understand their rights. And again, lots of ways to contact them and get involved. And they have a great website with a lot of information. And so these are just some examples that we would share with you now. And again, you can look for any free tenant assistance in Travis County, but these I find to be, they're very robust. And so a lot of people that we have come through court tell me that they did receive information or counseling from those services. Okay.
Okay. Thank
All
you.
right. Absolutely. Ms. Boyd, good luck to you. I'm glad you came today so we could get your email and we can get you that information and get you, get you understanding what's happening a little bit faster than if it just got mailed to you, which takes longer. Okay?
Okay, so I'm just trying to understand. So you ruled it as I owe him $1,300 for the month of March?
For the month of March. And it's not just you. Mr. Lee is also responsible for that. Right? So if you paid Mr. Lee, talk to the lawyer about what to do. If you gave money to Lee and then he didn't give it to the actual owner, sometimes that happens. I don't know. But the reason
I
the
tried
the
to pay
eviction
for
was
March,
granted is
and the
not about
landlord
non-payment.
let me.
I'm sorry, Ms. Boyd.
I said I wanted to pay for March. I tried to pay for March, and the landlord would not even let me. He wouldn't talk to me.
That's not uncommon. Sometimes the landlord, if they've already filed the eviction, says we don't want the money. We're afraid that will confuse the issue because they want possession back. What they want is the land. So it may be, if you move or Mr. Lee moves, the landlord may not be concerned so much about the money. They just may want their property back. I see all versions of that. The reason the landlord filed the eviction and it was granted was not because of
he lied.
non-payment. It was because
Yes,
the
because he
sublet. That's
lied
correct.
and he didn't do the right thing and let Charles know that I was here. When when he told me he did that, I should have called Charles myself and talked to him. And now I know. I've learned.
You sound very mature about that. I'm sorry that you had a situation with your roommate, and then as a result, it with the landlord. Okay.
My first time renting and I get an eviction. It sucks.
Call all those people. All right.
Okay.
All right. Good luck, Ms. Boyd. Thank you very much.
Thanks.
All right. Then that does conclude our docket for today.
That doesn't put you out yet. We still need to know if that other pretrial is going forward, because if it is, then we have to hear it.
Why do we have to hear?
Because we're the only one this week.
Oh, okay. Got
It's
it.
a pro se. It's a pro se too.
All right. Well, when is that supposed to happen? Today?
Nana was working on it this morning, so we'll find out
Who?
here in a little bit.
Narano's working on it this morning?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Okay.
not the one we have at 2:00. Okay.
All right. So what's next?
Our last one is the Shadow Glen.
And who's
If you recall, you reset this hearing, but the defendants are not here, so I don't know. It's lovely. Here we come. Here comes
Okay.
the attorney.
Who's their attorney?
No, this is an eviction.
Yeah.
And you reset this eviction because the defendants asked for a motion for continuance, but the pro se defendants are not here.
Okay. All right. This is Judge Eric Shepard, presiding judge in Travis County Court of Law number 2, and I'm calling this hearing to order in cause number C1CV240000629 Shadow Glen Lease CO LLC versus Brandy Merritt and Courtney Roundtree. Today is Thursday, March 28th, 2024. This hearing is being conducted remotely on Zoom and live streamed on the court's YouTube channel. No recordings of this hearing are permitted other than by the official court reporter. Any violations of these instructions are punishable by contempt of court. If you would announce yourself for the record, tell me who you represent and whether you're the movement or respondent in today's hearing.
Yes, Richard Amagala, counsel for plaintiff Shadow Glen Lease Co.
Okay.
And then I am general manager here at the Flats at Shadow Glen for Shadow Glen Lease Co.
I don't see anybody else. Are you guys ready to put on your case? Or
We are
have you?
Yes,
All right.
we are ready to proceed, Your Honor.
Ma'am, if you'll raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this cause will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Sir, you may proceed.
Yes, at this time, I'd like to call my first witness, Ms. Lopez.
Yes.
Ms. Lopez, could you please state your full name for the court?
Cindy Lopez.
And are you currently employed by the plaintiff Shadow Glen Lease Co. LLC?
Yes.
And what is your job title?
I am the general manager.
And are you personally familiar with the facts involved in this case?
Yes.
So I'm going to show you a document that has been previously marked as Plaintiff Exhibit 1. And you should be able to see the screen now. It's the title of the document is apartment lease contract and is again titled as Plaintiff Exhibit 1. Do you recognize this document?
Yes,
And is this a true and correct copy of the lease that was signed by the plaintiff and the defendant in this matter?
correct.
And according to this lease, what is the monthly rent on the property?
$17.50.
And when was the last time rent was paid in full?
Rent was last paid on April 1st of 2023.
Okay. And are you asking for the court for a judgment for unpaid rent for the months of April 2023 through March 2024 prorated through today's date?
Correct.
And is it correct that total amount of unpaid rent is equal to $20,785.48? Your Honor, at this time, I would like to submit Plaintiff Exhibit 1 into evidence.
Plaintiff 1 is submitted.
Ms. Lopez, I'm not going to show you a document that's been previously marked as Plaintiff's Exhibit 2. Do you recognize this document?
Yes,
And what is it?
it's our 3-day notice to vacate.
And since the notice, and is this the true and correct copy of the notice to vacate that was delivered by the plaintiff on November 6th of 2023?
Yes,
And
correct.
since the notice to vacate was delivered, has the defendant vacated the property?
No,
And are you asking for the court to award possession of the property to the plaintiff today?
yes,
Your Honor, at this time, I would like to submit Plaintiff Exhibit 2, the notice to vacate, into evidence.
Plaintiff 2 is admitted.
So, Ms. Lopez, I'm going to show you one more document that's been titled as Plaintiff's Exhibit 3. Do you recognize this document?
yes.
And what is it?
It's balances owed or non-paid for.
Okay, and does this document accurately reflect the amount of unpaid rent that's at issue at today's trial?
Correct.
At this time, Your Honor, I'd like to submit Plaintiff Exhibit 3 into evidence.
3 is admitted.
And Ms. Lopez, do you also seek to recover reasonable and necessary attorney's fees in the amount of $1,695, court cost and interest at today's trial?
Yes,
And do you also request that the court release any funds, if any, that are currently held in the court's registry?
yes.
And Your Honor, at this time, I'd like to testify to my attorney's fees in this matter, if
Go right
necessary.
ahead, sir.
Yes,
Wait a
my
minute. Hold on. I didn't swear you in. Hold on.
I apologize for that.
You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this cause to be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
I do.
All right, go right ahead, sir.
Yes, Your Honor, my name is Richard Amagala. I've been practicing real estate law since 2018 in the state of Texas. I testified today that the amount of $1,695 is a reasonable and necessary amount to prepare for this case, try this case, and ultimately receive a judgment in this matter, Your Honor.
All right. Is that what did you Ramos requires a little more detail. You want to tell me what you did for that?
Yes, Your Honor. That includes preparation for today's trial, preparing with both my client, consulting with my client, preparation of today's trial exhibits, as well as today's attendance at today's trial.
All right, thank you.
Yes,
All right, thank you very much. Your request is granted. If you'll get me the judgment, I'll get it signed.
yes, Your Honor. And Your Honor, in addition, with that, plaintiff would request a supersedious bond be set by the court at 10 times the monthly rent.
Yeah. How much is the monthly rent?
The monthly rent, I believe, plaintiff did previously testify that it's $1,750, Your Honor.
So the supersedious bond will be $2,000 a month to be paid into the registry of the court. Any failure to pay into the registry of the court, the $2,000 could result in the case being dismissed.
Understood, Your Honor.
All right.
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Thank you.
All right,
Nothing
thank you.
further from the court. Thank you. I appreciate your time.
Thank you.